Jug Band Blues, man, what a song, yeah. There's a good, there's a channel who does a lot. Like, if anyone here has interest in dad rock, or just rock in general, there's a channel that does, like, introductions to bands. It's not the best channel I've ever seen, like, you know, it's a little basic in the information department, and, it's like entry-level kind of information, but it's Lie Likes Music, L-I-E Likes Music, and they have videos like understanding Mars Volta, understanding Nine Inch Nails, understanding the Arctic Monkeys, how George Harrison made My Sweet Lord, Mac DeMarco. There's a good one on Syd Barrett, Floyd, and so if anyone has interest in that kind of thing, there you go. So, what are we doing? Oh, we're doing this. We're doing the Messenger. The Messenger is a game that is frustratingly great. But I'm gonna try to fucking do this. I want to make sure that this game is completed, because when it's good, it's really good. And I've already come this far, and I've started it on stream, so now it's time for me to finish it on stream. Okay, so I got an item. I have a question. If anyone from chat can help me, where do I go next? It's 2,000. I'm almost ready for that. Go to the grotto. What is the grotto? Howling Grotto. Someone said, why is there a map? I thought this game was linear. Well, halfway through, it turns into a Metroidvania, which I think is a huge detriment to the game. Especially considering there's, again, I'm not going to rag on this game for 2 hours like I've done previously, but what I am going to do is tell you that... I'm going to tell you that there are not enough warp points, and the backtracking is fucking painful. Wait, I got, I'm over here. I got this Lift's Minor Curse. So, what does that mean? Go to the green portal? That, right there, in the middle? No? Go to the boss of this area for the curse thing in 8-bit. Head to the shroom boss. So, is that... that's all the way up, right? Let's see what happens. Up is ice, south left. So wait, the boss is where? Here? Left is shroom? Oh, fuck. Alright, fine. The help is good, because I'd be wasting a lot more time. So, what's new, everybody? Well, there's a lot new, isn't there? I almost had my eye clawed out today. Oh, that's cool. Is it a cat? Cats like to do that, don't they? But it might not be a cat. Maybe it's something else. Yep, sister's cat. Okay. Yeah, I have, I mentioned my dad has a cat, and it's really annoying to try to make friends with the cat, and it just swipes. And, I got a claw stuck in me. You know, just in my finger. And it went pretty deep. And I was like, oh, that's fun. Thanks, cat. That's really nice. Aren't you allergic? Yeah, but I wanted to, you know, I wanted to attempt some kind of, like, peace treaty with the cat. But the cat does not care. Wait, so where am I going for this mushroom boss? South left? I've seen good cats. You know, I've been, friendly with cats before. But I get along great with dogs. I like, you know, I just like dogs. They're nice, and I've had good experiences with dogs. So, and I'm allergic to cats, which makes it even harder. But even so, when I had, a roommate a while back, his cat was a nightmare. And I've told the story on stream. The cat is just, like, out for blood. All the time. You go to the bathroom, the cat would try to kill you. It would make my friends bleed. It would make me bleed. So, I don't have the highest opinion of cat because I've not been around, like, cat that is not, like, violent very much. And I can't be anyway because of allergies. But it seems like violent cat is just what I'm used to. That's what I see the most. And I wish that wasn't the case. But yeah, no, my friend's cat was the type of cat where you wouldn't even pet the cat. You wouldn't have a relationship with the cat, and he would go mental on you. He would just find ways to destroy you. So it wasn't like, you know, oh, the cat's annoyed because you're talking to it or looking at it or touching it. No, it would plot and plan your downfall from a distance and wait for the right moment to attack. Well, it's the second time I died there. Yeah, I mean, we could also have this discussion about the owner of the cat, and I don't want to get into that topic again. I believe the owner of the cat has a lot of the blame here because of the way he was very rough. Not just with cat, but with, like, just in his life. Like, that was his kind of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of anger in the cat from that. But again, like, you know, I've always, like, when I was young, I wanted nothing more than to have a cat, because they were cool. And my aunt and uncle had cats that were nice, and I really liked them. But then I developed allergies, and that wasn't fun. And I've been told, like, Vinny, just get the shot, so that way you can, you know, be around them. And it's like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't need to be around cats that much that I need to get a shot. But yeah, that was a fairly recent injury. Me getting clawed to the point where the claw stuck in my finger, and you know, that was like rubbing alcohol in a Band-Aid for like 3 days. Get a hairless cat? Well, that's the thing, I don't really want a pet. Maybe at, like, some point I wanted a pet, but I'm really not the type of guy that could take care of— I barely can take care of myself. I'm gonna take care of a cat. And then, like, I'm not home a lot, and I wouldn't spend a lot of time with the cat, because when I am home, I'm streaming for 4 hours. You know, or I'm out, you know, making music, or just getting out of the house, because that's important for me. So, no. No, I don't think that would work. Get a fish? But, like, why would I need a fish? Pet rock, that sounds good. Pet chat, exactly. The chat is your pet. It's like a hive mind of thousands of people all at once. Am I anywhere near where I have to be? Go left in 8-bit. Okay. Okay. Hey, this is the monk who brought the butterfly matriarch to restore the grove centuries ago. Looks like she's been corrupted. Let me help her out. What happened? The primal fear, it... Take a deep breath, dear monk. It seems you fell to the curse of quills. What are you doing here? Is the butterfly matriarch alright? All is well, you can relax. Well, how long has it been? This marsh, what have I done? I need to go see the prophet. She'll be fine. There's never been a stronger messenger. Go to the ice area now? Okay. Streams of emerald. Something of the deep. Do you have an ideal pet? One that can feed itself. A grown child? Where? So I have to be in this area, but where specifically? Manslave! Go to the dragon. Dragon in 8-bit. Okay. Well, again, I've harped on this game enough, but for anyone new who was wondering, like the person before who was like, why is this now a Metroidvania? This is the part of the game that I hate. Like, really, really hate. The warp point is so fucking far. And there's like almost nothing new to do. You know, sure you can collect some crystals. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks. So last night, I went and did something very silly, and I watched an episode of Deep Space Nine. And I've watched all of Deep Space Nine. It's one of the best shows of all time. I know this is nerd talk. Who here's a J? Who here is a J? That's right, Jay. No, but seriously, I watched an episode called Waltz, which is a season 6 episode, which I remembered being really good. And it's where Gul Dukat and Cisco are in a crash, and they have to, like, the main villain of the series, it becomes sympathetic for a bit, and he and the main character of the series have to survive. And it is the level of acting in this episode. I mean, I didn't remember a lot of the details, because this is a story that you need to really follow closely. But it didn't matter, because the episode was so fucking good. It's some of the best TV. I was absolutely floored. Like, I remember liking it a lot, but now I absolutely love it. What a great fucking episode. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. So, yeah. And also, Gul Dukat is one of the best villains in sci-fi history, in my opinion. And also, the actor who plays him, Mark Alaimo, is a beast when it comes to the way he portrayed that character. It's just... I really don't want to have to watch all of Deep Space Nine again, because that'll take, like, a year. But it's so good. Hi, Joel. Let's see here. Vinny, did you know that Riker's weird chair climb whenever he sits himself was due to back problems? That's true. He had back problems, so the Riker maneuver, as they called it in the show, like the Picard maneuver was pulling up your shirt, the Riker maneuver was stepping over a chair from the back. And he's also like 6'3", so he's a tall motherfucker, so he could do that. But yeah, he had a back problem, and he also would lean a lot. So if you watch episodes, Riker is mostly leaning on stuff, because they would work long hours while they were, like, standing. So he would, like, kind of, like, prop a leg up on something, or he would lean. And it became, like, kind of a casual thing, because, you know, Jonathan Frakes has the charisma of 10 gods. But it also was a physical necessity. So it made Riker kind of cool, but it also, like, there's a reason. I don't even know if this is the right way. Where am I going? Yeah, I actually had to go that way. There's a documentary that I used to watch a lot. And there's this podcast that covered it. It's like Star Trek podcast. I only listen to an episode like once every like 6 months. I think it's called Star Trek The Next Conversation. And usually I only listen to it when there's nothing else available. But they covered this documentary called Trekkies, which was on HBO all the time, and it just shows the weird, like, Star Trek subculture that developed, like, around the conventions and the dressing up and people learning Klingon, and it's an incredible documentary. Because it's so weird. Anyway, final upgrade. So I'm now very powerful. I think this might be my favorite music in the game, this area. Uh, 8-bit. I have to do 8-bit. Okay. chat is extremely helpful. Thank you. This is perfect. Oh, hey. How was I supposed to know you were here? Good thing the chat's telling me. Or maybe the Prophet would, I guess, whatever. Did you talk to the Prophet? I have to spend money to know that this was here, rather, like 300 coins. It seems that you have a real shot at breaking the curse on our world, so you used to be a messenger too? Indeed, my power was to travel back to the past, whereas you, it seems, can travel into the future. If the Prophet is right, you'll be needing this to save a friend. Farewell, Ninja, we're all counting on you. That's just silly. But, yeah, on this podcast where they talk about Trekkies, they said that their favorite person in the documentary was Peter. So Peter is this dude Gabriel's friend. Gabriel builds Star Trek models and wears the uniform and does all this Trek-related stuff. And Peter was his friend who called while they were interviewing him. And, I want to play it for you, actually. Let me see. Not Peter Gabriel. It's different. Trekkies. Peter call. Let's see. Yeah, here it is.
When I was 6 years old, January of 1989, I attended my first convention, and here is a picture from it.
When you're 6 years old,
wearing my plaid pants and tie.
Another interesting thing that
Here's the best character.
I'll get that.
you're the one that told me.
Ready?
Hello? Okay. Peter, this is the worst time you could have called. Go away! Okay, bye.
Okay, here we are.
Around this entire section here, we have my collection of
Yeah.
autographed.
And then all this.
Put up somewhat of a chart with my data.
You can see he's got all the datas. He's got Star Wars too. This is episode 1 we're talking about here.
Uniforms in the past few years. We start out here with data.
Look at all these datas.
Second season Lycra jumpsuit, which I heard caused the male actor's back problems.
Wow.
Then the generations. Now the gray-shouldered first contact garbs, which of course I am wearing now.
He also he also mentions that he took an X-Acto knife to Cisco, because Cisco, the captain in Deep Space Nine, had he had hair for the first couple seasons, and then he went bald and got a goatee, which, by the way, best look for Cisco. It looks badass like that. So I'm just saying, good. But Gabriel took an X-Acto knife to his hair and then used he painted. So he made him bald by shaving off the head, the hair, and then painting a goatee because he wanted to be the first one to have the action figure of accurate Cisco. I will be right back. I need to get a stool for my mule so that I can put my legs up while I stream this. I know, it's ridiculous. Give me a minute.
Where did I go wrong? 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 All town, and around town, all around. Just, also my watch reeler digital. Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong?
I'm so happy that my microphone has a mute feature for when I walk away from it. It's like an auto mute. That's a really good feature. Anyway, I'm back. Not now, Peter. This is the worst possible time. That's it. Feels great to be able to move again. I bet. Yeah, freedom is where it's at. Alright, we have the environment to save. Are you ready to go to the elemental skylands? Excuse me. Okay, let's do this. Seems like I'm almost done with this. And hey, we get a brand new area, so that's good. Something new. Something, hopefully, interesting. So I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy, this is bad. What's going on? Seems like the Demon King managed to corrupt the Clockwork Concierge. Clockwork Concierge, a big robot that tends to this place. He's a butler superstar. I can't wait to meet him. Anyway, I was gonna handle this myself, but the Skylands make the robot invincible. Where do I come in? I'll drop you on each of the Skylands so you can disable the shield generators, then together we'll see how big of a punch the Clockwork Concierge packs. Alright, enemies ahead, press Y to fire. You can also charge a big one. Oh, okay. Shooter. That's good. Some variety. This game desperately needed it. I just feel like... I feel like they just throw the kitchen sink at this game. Meanwhile, all I want is DLC that allows me to, play as the Space Marine from earlier. Vinny, read Desert's message. Oh, okay. Vinny, PlayStation Classic. Why is Internet Explorer set to my default, even though it's not my default? And then I click a link in Internet Explorer and it defaults to Firefox. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Internet? This is real. What Nintendo giveth, Sony taketh. Introducing the PlayStation Classic with 20 preloaded games featuring Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 3, Wild Arms, and 17 other legendary titles. $100. It's $100. There's a video, which I'm not going to show you. I think you should watch on your own. I'm going to skip around a little bit because, Sony wants that. By the way, Sony... Did you know Sony made the movie Jack and Jill? Which, speaking of, these guys cover it and talk about how terrible the product placement is in that film. That's appropriate music. La la la. Changes virtual disc. So you got Final Fantasy VII. So $100 for... We need to see the games. Okay, so there's the trailer. Played a little bit of it. Do we have a full list? Does anyone... Do we have a full list? No analog? Yeah, you're right. There's no analog. A compatible USB AC adapter not included is required to use this console. It launches December 3rd. So it's going to compete with Smash Brothers a bit. I mean, not really. It's, a very different situation. How many controllers does it come with? 2. But it doesn't come with the thing to actually power it. Okay, I'm gonna try to be as tempered as I can about this. On one hand, it's laughable, because of course Sony just loves copying the shit that works for Nintendo. And has been for years. And then usually claims that they did it first, because Sony's an arrogant company, and I don't really care for them. However, the PlayStation 1 is one of my favorite systems of all time. So... shit. No, Nintendo didn't invent the idea of a... I mean, Sega was doing that even before Nintendo. But, I mean, now it's like... You know, now it's profitable enough to the point where Sony's like, hey, let's do it. But Nintendo absolutely did not invent the concept of classic system with, like, a bunch of preloaded games. Far from it. I mean, it's like Atari, Sega... it's just now it's a huge, huge business. More so than it's ever been. So I'm not surprised. I wonder when Xbox Classic is gonna happen. But it's just funny, it's like a little version of the system, it comes with the controllers, like they're following the model to a T. Which makes me laugh a bit. So that's good. 20 games. Alright, so let's see, what are the games that I would want? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say that an analog stick being missing is unfortunate. I know it's going for the classic experience, but, you know... I mean, maybe they're saving a couple bucks by not putting analog. Here's what I would want. Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII. Yes, Final Fantasy VIII. Okay, I don't know why Square pretends this game doesn't exist. It's a good fucking game. It's just, you know... It's a bit of an underdog. It's a bit forgotten. It's kind of, you know... It's a little shitty here and there, but I still like it. Obviously you'd want Final Fantasy IX in there too, but considering it's, on the Switch and it's getting ported to, you know, it's on PC rather, and it's getting ported to Switch. I don't think we'll see Final Fantasy IX. But anyway, the point is, how many Final Fantasies could be on this thing? 7's the one that sold the most PlayStations. So, okay, I'd want that, I'd want Medal of Honor, I'd want Metal Gear Solid, I'd want... You think they would do Crash Team Race? I think they should do Crash Team Racing and not Crash Bandicoot, considering we just got a remaster. Tactics would be cool. Final Fantasy Tactics, I haven't played that, but I know people love it, and that's... like, 7 plus Tactics could be a good combo. Brave Fencer Musashi, if you're gonna go more Square. That was a cool PS1 game. Siphon Filter didn't age very well. Chrono Cross, I doubt would happen. Symphony of the Night is... I feel like that should be on... Whoa, voice, please. I feel like Symphony of the Night should be on there, but I don't suspect it will be. Silent Hill would be... Yeah, I guess that's a popular one. I haven't played it. Any other suggestions? Parappa the Rapper. That's cool. Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk also came out on N64, and that series ended up not becoming synonymous with Sony. But I'll tell you what, if they did Tony Hawk, I'd want Tony Hawk 2. Tony Hawk 2 is like a near-perfect game. How about Alundra? Does anyone remember that? It's like the Zelda-esque game. I think it's overpriced, and I don't think I'll be getting it. Again, the Super Nintendo's my favorite system of all time, and the fact that you could easily mod more games into it is one of the reasons I ended up getting it. I don't have an NES Classic, as I've said thousands of times. I don't want one. I don't think I would get an N64 Classic. Again, this is why we don't have Virtual Console. In so many ways. I think it's a big part of it. Also, this level's cool. I like it. Good mix of, like, platforming and combat, and then you get these little segments in between. It's the thing, I'm so conflicted about this game, man. So, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's to be expected that a PlayStation... Not really, it kind of caught me by surprise, but now that I think about it, it doesn't seem surprising. And the PlayStation 1 does have a fucking really good library. Some games did not age very well, and some games look like complete ass. Hang on, if you give me a second, I want to go over to my PlayStation 1 library. And I just want to take a look at, I have to, like, kind of not break my cable here. Here are games I have on the PS1. Here's my collection. Let me move my guitars. Okay. Chrono Cross. Metal Gear Solid. VR Missions. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. Air Guys. Mega Man X4, which I, believe it or not, never played. I got that for free and I never played it. I'll be doing the Switch port of that when I do. Another copy of Chrono Cross? What? I'm serious. Why do I have 2 copies of Chrono Cross? Someone must have gave that to me at a convention or something. Symphony of the Night, Medal of Honor, and probably a couple games that I sold. And about 1 million demo discs. No, both are greatest hits. Both versions of Chrono Cross are the greatest hits. Weird. So yeah, I didn't have the biggest PlayStation library. I rented a lot of games too. But you know, there's some great fucking stuff on there. Just the RPGs alone make it one of the best systems for me. Some of my favorite gaming memories of all time are those RPGs. Eat dick. And then, you know, later on I ended up playing more PS1 games through the power of I can't say emulation, so I'm gonna say a different word. I'm gonna use a code word. The code word is gonna be... The code word is gonna be a word that is very unlike emulation. It's gonna be... scumulation. That's the code word. Einhander was a really good game, too. Einhander was like a shooty game by Square. I spent a lot of time playing Air Guys, too, just the adventure mode, quest mode, which was like a lot of fun. There's some fighting games, too, that I ended up playing. I don't know where they are. Oh, Wipeout. Yeah, Wipeout was good. So, I guess that's a really interesting thing to see. It's like, here it is, PlayStation Classic. It's a little expensive. Maybe if it was $60, I would be like, oh yeah, definitely I'll get that. You know, depending on the games. Like, if Symphony and Metal Gear and all that were on there. Because then I wouldn't have to, like, you know, have 500 megabyte files on my computer. Unrelated files, like, not related to PlayStation at all, just it's a bit of a non sequitur. But, at this point, it depends on the library, and it's still a little expensive, and it doesn't even come with the proper adapter. So, I can't see myself wanting that. $5 per game, not bad for PS1 games. No, I mean, you're not wrong. It's just a matter of, like, rebuying games that you already own. You know, I see a number of games like Wild Arms. I played the demo of that. It was fine. But it's not something that I would get, like, a PS1 Classic for. Like, I wouldn't play it. It's a little too late for me to get into that game. But, you know, if there's, like, a bunch of other stuff on there that I've always wanted to play, or... I mean, maybe. Like I said, I'm torn about these fucking classic systems, because part of me loves the idea of it, and then part of me is like, fuck, just give me Virtual Console. And I know it's really easy money for... Well, I don't know how easy it is to manufacture these things, but it feels like it. I wonder if, like, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, these companies are gonna do Classic Plus systems with more games on them. Like the SNES Classic Plus with 50 games. And then another 10 years they're gonna do the SNES Classic Plus X with all of the games. And just keep milking us for money. Meanwhile, I think someone found a way to get the entire library of SNES games on the SNES Classic. What's this trash? Oh, that's just a green. I told you, I'm done with green coins. Yeah, I mean, do you guys think Microsoft could jump in on this? Do you think there's enough nostalgia for Xbox for them to do an Xbox class? Probably not for a few years. I mean, Sony's now jumping on. This is, let's face it, visually, this is now like the best looking of the classic systems. Right? I mean, there's no other classic system that's doing this far ahead generationally. PC Classic? Yeah, it's just called Steam. So yeah, I mean, Sony, I mean, you know, actually, chronologically, it makes sense. If you think about it, because Nintendo did NES Classic, then they did Super Nintendo Classic, Sega's been doing their stuff too. So you got those two, and then chronologically, next is PlayStation. And then after that's N64. So maybe next year there's gonna be an N64 Classic. Maybe there's gonna be a Dreamcast Classic, because Sega's... There's a lot of nostalgia for Dreamcast. I think Sega will see the potential of making some money. And there's a lot of good games for the Dreamcast, too. I could see it. Skies of Arcadia, them Sonics, Shenmue, Seaman. Was Valkyria Chronicles. There's a lot of fucking good... I've never even had a Dreamcast, but I ended up playing a bunch of Dreamcast games, like, later on. One form or another. And it's a good fucking system. It's just, you know, unfortunate. Jet Set Radio, Phantasy Star... Oh, man. I would actually be down for a Phantasy Star Online. Like a brand new one. Like on the Switch or a PC or something. That series, is it still happening? PSO. What was the one for GameCube? There was one on the GameCube, then there was one on the Xbox. I had the one on the GameCube, and then I played the one on the Xbox. Those are the Phantasy Star Onlines that I ended up playing. PSO 1 and 2, that was the GameCube version, and then what was the one on Xbox? Xbox 360. Was that Phantasy Star Ultimate or something? Universe. So I might be more down for a system that I didn't own for a Classic Edition. But at the moment, I'm very, very, very on the fence about this PlayStation thing. I'm gonna have to sleep on it a bit, but again, it's more just the price is a little weird. And we don't know what games are on it yet. And another thing is, too, how many, like, little pieces of plastic that are 45% or 65% smaller than their counterparts, or 55%, whatever. How many little pieces of plastic do you really, like, want in your house? So, I don't know. Hey, it's a good topic of discussion, though. What was I talking about before that? Probably not talking about anything particularly interesting. Centipedes, eating, Star Trek. Oh yeah, I'm sure most of the audience loved the Star Trek conversation. Peter, not now, I'm busy! This is the worst possible time, Peter! How is the Centipede situation? I like that I have to keep the, keep you guys updated on the Centipede. I look for that Centipede every night. I get the flashlight, I get the stick, and I just make sure that there's no peed before bed. That's all I want! I just want to be able to sleep in peace. And so far I have not seen the Centipede. It's still missing. Maybe it died. Maybe it left. But I do my due diligence, and I recently found out that tea tree oil and water in a spray bottle, they don't like that. So if you spray that, it could potentially make a barrier that the centipedes do not wish to cross. And it just so happens I have tea tree oil because when I was doing the essential oil stuff, that came with it. And I also happen to have water, believe it or not. It's a rare ingredient. This money is no longer used for anything, by the way. Just hints. That's it. Can someone spoil what you get for getting all the green coins? Because I'm not gonna get them, and I really just am curious about what kind of bonus you would get for a task that could take you a very, very, very long time. You get a boomerang shuriken, a bouncy shuriken that you can recollect. I mean, that's cool, but by the time you get it, you're pretty much done with the game. I don't know if I'm ever pronouncing shuriken correctly, by the way. I do the best I can. My pronunciation of shuriken comes from a video. Does anyone have the video or know what it is, what it's called, so I can find it? With distance fight, you be a pirate or a ninja. And it had like jaguars. Ninja the Mission Force? It was on the autoplay years ago. It was like Pirates versus yeah, Makuni, something like that. It's like a Pirates game. Let me see if it was Ninja Mission Force. Let's see. No, it's not that. Let's see. Pirates versus Ninja. Funny. Parlay. Distance fight. Ninja distance fight. No. Got it. Pirates vs. Ninjas trailer. Only 48k views. And I think this is probably one of the most quotable videos that I've ever seen. But then again, I'm kind of a dummy, so. Wow, look, annotations are still here. It's an old ass video, 2010. There's a trailer. Look at the frame rates.
Fight as a ninja or pirate to gain the dominance over the island.
Vampire.
Destroy the foe's main building with your special abilities. Distance fight. Poison.
Poison!
Parlay.
Look at the hands.
Shuriken.
Yep, gorillas. There it is.
Shuriken.
Shuriken.
Bombs.
These are the visuals of a 2010 video game. I love that fucking video so much. My favorite
As
is
a ninja or pirate
special
to gain the
abilities.
dominance over the island. Destroy the foe's main building with your special abilities.
He puts so much emphasis on the word special. More so than almost any other word. It's good. Maybe it's not as quotable as I had originally thought it was. Oh, I just went in a circle. That's cool. Oh wait, no. I think. Did I die? I don't remember. Oh, memory is you know, losing it. I'm losing the memory. There we go. Oh my god, come on. I fucking love this. Like I said, I have a very complex love-hate relationship with this game. Mostly love. But, you know, when you spend 2 full streams bitching about a game, that's not good. So, you guys know Colin Josts, right? Or, well, some of you hosted the Emmys. So, it's weird that I knew his brother growing up, and my friend Bill was, like, best friends with him. Just some dude. Everyone's like, who? Yeah, the SNL guy. It's weird to... Okay, it's weird knowing that someone's hosting the Emmys, and one of my best friends... like, grew up with him, and he was just, like, a dude in the house that would hang out, and, like, you know, he would see. And it's just, I thought about that just now. I was like, wait a minute, that's a little weird. Whomst? Fuck the Oscars. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Hey, welcome back. Who are you people, and where is my house? Nice to meet you, Clockwork Concierge. I'm a huge fan. This is unacceptable. I need to get back to my Skylands presently. Come on, chill. We just snapped you out of a demon spell. Is that so? Then it would be rude of me to let such a deed go unrewarded. Oh, I'll agree to that. As I spent countless centuries in perfect harmony while catering to the intricate balance of the Skylands, my core materialized a very unique piece. Acknowledging how deeply your cooperation has touched my metaphorical heart, I would like to offer it to you. Everyone's asking me about the PlayStation Classic. I'll tell you what, I talked about it for about 15 minutes or so, so if you want to hear all that discussion, just watch the VOD. Long story short, lol, but also, maybe, but also, stop. Now, I have much to do. Is there anything else I can help you with? Well, yes. It's just, what is it? He always wanted to be a butler. You're his hero. Hey, not cool. Is that so? And what is your name, brave sky serpent? Manfred. Manfred, huh? Yes, I believe that will do. Really? Yes, you have the perfect name for an apprentice. No way, this is awesome. Now I should get back to my tasks. Come back to me when your quest is over. That's it. I'll be back. I promise to work super hard. Yes, I believe we will first address your vocabulary. Farewell for now, Manfred, and good luck, messenger. I thought he was saying that's lit. Pete Davidson's from Staten Island too, right? He is. Yeah, Staten Island is actually got some, oddly enough, some weird representation lately in comedy. Pete Davidson, who hates Staten Island and talks shit about it constantly. Colin Jost, and the guys from Impractical Jokers, who are fucking massive. So, I don't know what, you know, what this little trash island has done. You know what it is? It's like so tight. It's like coal turning into a diamond. Even though I think it's like still a smelly diamond. Well, that happened. Manfred and the Messenger saved the world. Can you believe it? Yeah, it was quite the adventure. When all of this is over, that event alone is totally worth the second playthrough, if you ask me. Oh, shut up. I would not want to go through all the backtracking to get back there. Sorry. Anyway, I should get back to flying. Take care, buddy. You get used to the cheek of the game, and it's, you know, it's endearing to some extent now, but it's far from the biggest problem the game has. Why are so many things called kills in Staten Island? What, like Fresh Kills, Landfill, and Arthur Kill? I don't know. What is a kill, anyway? Isn't that like, it's a water thing? It's a small river? It's a small river, so yeah, we've got a lot of those, I guess. As fate would beautifully have it, only by creating melody from the crystallized forces of this world can the curse be lifted. To complete the melody, you'll still need 3 musical notes. Okay, so under Streams of Emerald, I'm just gonna buy the hint. Grotto. Kind of wish these things had labels so I could know exactly which one I'm warping to. I don't know if this is the Howling Grotto. The Howling Grotto. You know that shadow box thing I was telling you guys about? I have like 2 shadow boxes where the dude takes a scene from a video game and he makes it 3-dimensional. So that dude, I see him at conventions a lot. He's a really nice dude. He's doing a new thing now where he's doing AR for some of his shadow boxes, where if you scan the shadow box on your phone and then you hold your phone up to it like the camera, you get a moving scene from the video game. So like if it's the Metroid title screen, like the, you know, the Metroid moves, it would be cool if there would like be music too, like the actual like soundtrack for the fucking game. That would be cool. Yeah, it's actually a really well done thing. Like the guy puts a lot of work into it, and you know, I like it. And he seems to care about his craft, and he seems to care about video games too. He's not like just some shiesty dude. I mean, like, you can haggle with him a little bit. So, but yeah, he was at that convention. That Meadowlands convention I went to, I didn't really talk much about it, but I went to a convention on Sunday for like 3 hours, like 2.5 hours. And it was extremely small. The convention center was cool. The Meadowlands Center was amazing. I really liked it. Apparently Saturday it was kind of busy, but on Sunday it was extremely... like, you could meet the angry video game nerd waiting in line for 5-10 minutes, and usually his lines are like an hour, 2 hours. But, Yeah, I know a couple like people that do. There's a local Staten Island dude that I went to school with that does. He sells like classic games and like video game merch at a lot of conventions. Like that's his job. So he's always going to conventions and traveling. He said it was a little light, but Pat sold a lot of his books. But regardless, it was a cool convention. It was a really cool atmosphere. They sold soda. Like there was a big soda thing. Ah, shit. How do I get over there? And again, I didn't go to be, like, noticed or to do anything specific. Like, they just gave me a ticket and I just went so I could, you know, hang out with Pat for a couple minutes and James and, my manager from Screenwave, Paul, was there, who's actually a really, really nice guy. Like, we're actually friends outside of the network thing, and that's something I'm very, very, very grateful for. It's like the Lost Woods, I guess. Exactly the Lost Woods. Interesting. I think I accidentally went the wrong way. I went down and back up. Okay. But there's a lot more of this than I thought there would be. Oh my god. Trying to avoid drowning. Good thing I don't have any, oxygen meter. So yeah, there's a small convention, but it was cool for a couple hours, and it was a really nice day out. So I enjoyed it. Like I said, I got recognized like twice, which is... or 3 times, maybe? But people were chill. You know, it was just a couple people, they were really nice. I was like, listen... They're like, oh, I didn't know you were coming. I was like, exactly. Exactly. I was trying to be as undercover as possible. But there's also, like I said, there's that Atlantic City convention I'm doing coming up. Which, again, I think it'll be a really good time. Is anyone actually going to go to that? I know the answer is no, but I'm going to ask anyway. Can't go that way. Okay, a couple people are going. A couple people might go, and Why would you willingly go to Atlantic City? You know, I make fun of Atlantic City plenty, but it's fun. And we're talking like brand new casino hotels that were just put up. Like Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. Mark speaking. How may I direct your call? That kind of stuff. No, but they're brand new, and there's a lot to do. There's shows. There's usually like, there's usually something happening in Atlantic City. It's just the right shitty. And the boardwalk is really fun. There's a lot going on there. I mean, I grew up with it. That was like, my grandparents took me there a lot as a kid, so I have a soft spot for it. But considering like the Hard Rock that I went to just opened, it's not shitty at all. It's like brand new, and it's cool as fuck. And as this is coming from a non-gambler, and I still have a good time in Atlantic City. Usually the restaurants are good, even though the Guy Fieri restaurant closed down. So they're like putting me up at a hotel for free. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll go. Yes, I'll go to your fucking convention. Yes, yes. I turn into Junkie Joe when I go to a convention. But you gotta, you know, I try to be positive about places. Like, yeah, it's a little shitty, but there's a lot to like, too. I don't know why the Guy Fieri restaurant was closed down, though. Actually, that Hard Rock is not remaining a Hard Rock casino. The brand is going Virgin. Wait, what? They just put that up. What do you mean? Hang on, that's really weird. I just wanted to show you the thing there. Flavortown on the boardwalk. And then, as I showed last time, this was like, I just was walking, and like a 2-minute walk away from there was All-Star was playing. So, that's why I like Atlantic City. Because things like that randomly happen. But yeah, if they rename the Hard Rock, it's been open for like 2 months. Like, that's absurd. That is absurd. But like the being positive about stuff, that's been really important for me the past couple years. It's helped get me out of like grumpy, cynical mode where like focusing on the things I hate it's easier. I think it's just a lot easier. But it's made me, I think, a happier person overall, and it's made me a lot less anxious, and it's led me to make better decisions in my life, to just try to be a little... And it's hard. You know it's hard, especially these days where Toad is in the news, and it's hard to stay positive. But I'll tell you what, like Staten Island, for example, there's a lot to dislike about this place. I could be very, very Pete Davidson about it and just shit on it constantly because of one thing or another. But, you know, the truth is I kind of like it here, and the truth is that you can, as much as possible, try to avoid the shitty behavior and be, like, not around people. Like, try not to go places where you're gonna run into schmucks. But, you know, we got nice parks, we got some good restaurants, got great pizza, beaches, there's, you know, and it's like in between Brooklyn and Jersey, there's a lot to like. It's peaceful, you can own a car here and not worry about shitty parking. So, and it's not as expensive to live in as Brooklyn. So, like I said, you know, always look on the bright side of life. Vinny, that's how I feel about Long Island, except it's expensive as fuck to live here. I can walk on water now. Yeah, Long Island, though, the problem I have with it is it's too long. Like, I have friends that live in Long Island, and they're like 2 hours away. I can get to Pennsylvania quicker than it would take me to get to fucking Long Island. I can get to Terrock Nor faster than I can get to Long Island. It's just a very long island. You're saying it wrong, excuse me. It's Long Island. Yeah, like Staten Island, Staten Island. I found a place today that does good fried chicken. Like, picture KFC, but homemade. And they have like stuffing and fresh veggies, and you know, they do like Boston Market type chicken stuff too. And they do lots of you know, veggie related stuff. I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool, because I am really not feeling KFC, and Popeyes, there's only a couple of those. There's a number of KFCs locally, but there's one that if you go to after a certain time, you can't order whatever you want. I don't know if this is how KFC normally functions, but they just run out of stuff and they won't accommodate you. They're like, oh, well, I can give you a thigh. That's the best I can do. I can give you a thigh and mashed potatoes. That's all we have. You want a cookie? Penises. It's like that at ours too? Okay, so this is a common thing. I just instinctively popped the Tums in my mouth, thinking about KFC. Jesus Christ. No, I actually haven't. My stomach has been pretty solid lately. After I got sick, I wasn't eating much. And then, when I got better, I felt like a lot of my, my issues, like gastrointestinal issues or whatever, just lessened by like 100%. So, but I actually, for some reason, yeah, just now I was like, nope, not feeling that great. But now I'm okay. I see where I have to go now. It took me that long. Yeah. Okay, there's no chance I'm gonna fuck this up this time. We real yacht hours tonight. I have a lovely habit of only streaming this game now at like 3 a.m. Who would have thought that that voice would make my throat hurt and make me cough a little bit? Not not hurt. I know people will people get worried, which is again a nice sentiment, but I'm fine. It just made me cough a little bit. It's all good. How did I not see that before? That was like a waste of 10 minutes of gameplay. Vinny, apparently I was kind of wrong about the Hard Rock getting renamed. Only in Vegas is it getting renamed. Atlantic City Hard Rock will remain as a Hard Rock. I just misunderstood what my father meant by that. Okay, well, I didn't know. I mean, that's good information. I didn't know that the Hard Rock was getting renamed, period. Like, the Hard Rock in Vegas is apparently, like, kind of legendary. So I'm wondering if they're going to keep all the rock memorabilia. Like, I wonder where they keep getting this shit. Like, at the one in Atlantic City, they had, like, original lyrics by, like, you know, like the actual lyric sheets for like Imagine, for like, I forget which Nirvana one it was, but like and a ton of other bands. I guess they just get them from auctions and then, like, I'm wondering if they have, if they transfer some of this shit to different locations. Like for the one in Atlantic City, I just wonder if they, like, spent, like, a couple of years amassing the collection, or if they transferred some items from their other locations. Like, I just don't know how that works. Because there's only a limited amount of rock memorabilia. Then again, that's not true, because they had some stuff that was just guitars signed by people, which I'm sure there's, like, a fuckload of that kind of stuff. Like, they had a Fender Jaguar signed by the members of Nirvana, for example. That's, like, you're kind of bordering on, like, why is this here? Like, at that point, what's the point? For me. It's like, alright, they signed it. I have a fucking signed Kurt Cobain picture in my room right now. Vinny, the first Hard Rock was designed by the same man who did the designs for the original Tim Burton Batman movie very quickly before his suicide. Jesus! That's a lot heavier than I thought it would be. I believe that was part of him liberating his connection, and then the original financiers taking his cue and pitching it as well, if I recall correctly. Oh, damn. That's a really bizarre connection. It's weird how many, like, connections there are that you would never even think about. Like, there's a photo that was going around a bit yesterday that I saw. It was Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill hanging out with Eric Idle from Monty Python in, like, '78. And they looked high as fuck. And it looked like Harrison Ford was carrying a little weed pipe. So I'm just like, I'm wondering, like, I could just imagine the success of Star Wars. Suddenly, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford are like just smoking hashish with Eric Idle. Like, that's just what that's just their life now. And then, like, you know, Chevy Chase was talking about, with Norm, he was talking about, fucking hanging out with John Lennon and Yoko and Paul McCartney. And, like, they would just go on walks together. They all lived in New York City, so they would just go to Central Park and go for walks and like, talk. And Chevy Chase is a bit of an asshole, and he's got, like, a legendary reputation for being an asshole. Like, I think Bill Murray punched the guy in the face. But, yeah, they thrashed a bit, that's alright, you know? That will never not be funny to me on some level, the word thrash. That's just, it's so, like, Paul is so naive to how fucking bizarre that story is. He's like, no, it was good, harmless fun, you know? You know, we were just having a bit of a thrash together, you know, man? Like, to him, it's just a cute, like, little Liverpool story, but to everybody else, it's like a meme. And really, like, kind of, it's weird. I bet there's, like, a number of people who just stopped listening to the Beatles altogether because of that story. Like, they're just done. That's it. They're done. But man, if I could be a fly on the wall, you know, if I could, like, go to various periods of history and hang out with people, or at least just see what's happening in the room, shit, I would love to hang out with Eric Idle, or at least see what was going on in the room with Eric Idle, Mark Hamill, and Harrison Ford. I just want to know. I just want to know what was going on. Like, if they were really as stoned as they looked, what kind of conversations did they have? Like, what the fuck? What a wacky connection. Or, like, George Harrison hanging out with Eric Idle just before they made Life of Brian. Or, like, being on the set of The Room as the movie was being filmed, and just, like, watching the fucking abject horror of the cast members and the crew as Tommy was trying to direct this movie and explain, maybe I am vampire. Like, if upon death you get to do things like that, I would love to be able to do that. Or, like, visit ancient Egypt. You know, I have a choice between visiting ancient Egypt at its peak, or, like, the Roman Empire to see what it was like, or watching Tommy Wiseau direct The Room. I wonder if you can guess which one I would choose. Actually, it would be Egypt, if I can be totally honest, but Tommy Wiseau filming The Room, close second. God damn it! So you want to go into spectator mode when you die? I want to go into Bran Stark mode. But I've always said that it's one of my favorite high thoughts I ever had. I'm talking about, like, you know, like high on life, but was like alternate dimension music or alternate dimension movies. Like, how about an alternate dimension, a parallel dimension where the fourth Indiana Jones film was good? Or, like, you know, The Hobbit, like, where Peter Jackson made the Hobbit movie from the beginning and wasn't cock-blocked by the studios and actually made a good Hobbit movie. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. Or, like, an alternate dimension with, like, a new Beatles album for, like, you know, a day where they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. That's, you know, that's the name of the album, The Wrong Side of the Bed, you know? I don't know. That sounds like fun. Just, like, picture your favorite thing. Your favorite... Okay, what's your favorite thing that's finite? That will never come back. You know, so... Oh, come on! Fucking... Okay, so your favorite thing that's finite, whatever kind of media it is, whether it be a movie, whether it be a TV series, an anime, music, a book, that, but more of them, but they're good. That's a fun thought, isn't it? But you've probably, if you're not new to the stream, you've heard me talk about this. Hitchhiker's Guide. Well, Hitchhiker's Guide is finite, and Douglas Adams, you know, he's not with us any longer, but weren't the sequels to Hitchhiker not as good as the first one? The second one I remember liking. I think I read through all of it. Maybe not. Maybe most of it. That's something I should redo one day. I should reread Hitchhiker. And then go through all the other ones. Another connection. Douglas Adams was friends with Dave Gilmour from Pink Floyd. Those spikes, I just can't help it. I love those spikes. More Metal Gear Solid. How about an alternate dimension where Metal Gear Solid 5 is a good conclusion to the series? And it gets finished, but the dude who co-wrote with Kojima stayed on after Metal Gear Solid 2. Or was it 3? Someone told me they rewatched my Metal Gear Solid 3 stream, and I was talking about how I was excited for the Phantom Pain. I was like, I can't wait for Phantom Pain. It's gonna wrap all this up. It's gonna be amazing. And again, I enjoyed Phantom Pain because it was fun to play. And I think that it gets some shit justly, but it's still a worthy experience. It's still really fun. But, you know, just from a story angle, it feels, you know, if you watch some retrospectives or you play through it, it's understandable why people get so salty about it. Skullface was totally underutilized. Wasn't he quoted saying that Skullface was supposed to be like a Phantom Pain on the player? Because the lack of Skullface would be felt. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? Just, what does that mean? Just means you have an underdeveloped villain. Woo! But I did like the angle of Skullface. I liked the idea that everything was taken from this guy, down to his face. And his whole purpose for existence was revenge, and, you know, then later Kaz, I'm not gonna spoil it, but, you know, the whole thing with Kaz and Skullface, which was, like, brutal. I can't deny, that shit was amazing. I really liked that scene. But yeah, he felt super underutilized, and there is that really awkward scene where Snake and Skullface are in the truck together, you know, and they're just staring at each other for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, while it's just exposition and music. I get the concept of that scene, and I think it's a neat idea. I just don't think it pulled. I don't think it really, like, for most people it didn't work, myself included. And, yeah, the elevator in Snake Eater was way... not elevator, the ladder in Snake Eater was way more effective. But it's artsy. Yeah. Vinny, let's be honest, in the older games, the truck scene would have been a codec call. Well, you know, someone informed me that the dude who co-wrote a lot of Metal Gear Solid, with Kojima, who, like, strengthened his scripts and did most of the codecs, like, he left after a certain point. So, you pretty much Like, I don't, again, I don't know how true that is, but I feel like, you know, sometimes you need a little bit of oil and water to, say, you know what, Kojima, can you rein it in a bit? Like, or, like, cool idea here, but can you de-emphasize this, but, like, you know, go more in this direction? I don't know, you know, maybe he didn't have that for 4 and 5. Welcome, adventurer, you must be weary. Weary! Allow the sanctity of this place to mend your wounds and invigorate your spirit. We are proud of all you could achieve on your own. What is this place? This shrine and its history matter little now. A tragic fate has befallen this world indeed. Eons ago we were its guardians. Were you its guardian? I don't know what he just said. Oops. Some would say that, as the roots of wisdom grew more distant with each passing generation, humans took their security for granted and set faith aside. Devoid of worshippers, our power slowly faded. Your world was a vibrant sight before the flood. Then, as fate would have it, a powerful curse befell its only remaining piece of land. Guardians, how long ago was this? The implications of our story would make little sense to denizens of a fallen world. Fallen world? Fallen world? Your world. Its connection to the stars have long been severed. Increasingly helpless in the face of its impending doom, we crystallized the last of our energies so that when the time came, it could support humanity's final hope. That final hope, messenger, is you. As we have since the day you were born, we will be watching over you. Now receive our final gift to the world. The Triforce. Okay, this room reminds me a little bit of Clock Tower from Symphony of the Night. Yeah, it's a cool area, and again, it does, like, it has a new mechanic, and there's some cool stuff in here. So, I mean, I'm glad I continued playing this game. Today's stream, we had some new stuff, and there was a lot of progress made. So, I am pleased that I didn't have to do as much backtracking during the stream. So, 2 notes left. Watch it be the Earthbound melody when it's complete. Go to the lava room now. Well, I'm actually done. I'm done for now. So, thanks for watching. We'll come back to this, we'll finish it. Apparently I have 1 stream left of this. I'm still considering which game I'd like to stream next. I might, I have 2 games in mind, 3 if you include Final Fantasy IX. But Final Fantasy IX, again, is a very, very long game, and as much as I love it, I know when it comes out, I will also end up having to stream Red Dead Redemption 2 in the middle of it, and that's gonna... It's gonna be 2 really long games back to back. So anyway, maybe. But, you know, when it comes to Mother 3, I told you keep an eye open this winter. So that's not next, but I would like for it to be very, very soon. Someone asked earlier, am I going to stream Crystal Chronicles when it comes out? And I said, or I thought about it. And the game does get a little grindy and boring here and there. I will stream it. I don't know if I will stream all of it. It's a good game, but it kind of feels... It reminds me of Diablo. In the sense that You know, Diablo 2 is great. I love playing it still, and I think it's a classic game. I don't know how fun it is to watch someone go through endless hordes of enemies. So there's, you know, there's a lot of that I think about and I try to consider before I start a stream. And as I always say, starting a stream on a whim has fucked me in the past, and kind of considering game length, considering how much I may enjoy a game, considering how much the audience may enjoy a game, these are all really important factors, because if I get bored halfway through a game, you're not going to like the stream as much, if at all. So that's not good. At least the Messenger has now kind of come back around a bit, and I'm more feeling it, and it's almost over. So, you know, gotta choose my games wisely, and I do step outside my comfort zone to some extent, but the reason I don't always step outside my comfort zone is because I don't always want to take a risk with a 20-hour-long game that, you know, then I maybe abandon because I don't like it, and then suddenly I'm not happy about that, the audience isn't happy about that, and then there are people that are like, well, fuck, Vinny doesn't like my favorite game, you know, and that doesn't feel good for them. So there's a lot of factors when it comes to choosing a game to stream next, which is why I'm considering Mega Man X4 or Dead Space. I've never played Dead Space, and it's almost Spooptober, and I feel like that's a game that could be cool. And I know it's got a pretty big cult following, and it's not that long of a game either. X4 is short as well. Silent Hill 2 is happening during Halloween. You know. Vinny, play Super Paper Mario. You know, I've been meaning to play that for a long time. I've had my doubts. Excuse me. Let's see how long that game is. That's about a 20-hour game. 18, 20 hours. I have it. I own it. What's Until... People were recommending Until Dawn. What was that game that people were recommending that was like garbage but fun? Like fun garbage? Until Dawn's about 8 hours. That's not bad. It's got like a bunch of good ratings too. Until Dawn is boring. Never mind. Well, we'll see. I'm not... Deadly Premonition, that's the one. Vinny plays Spore. Where the fuck did that come from? Yeah, I'd consider Until Dawn. And then apparently Deadly Premonition is hilarious. No, Spore would be fun, but I wouldn't do a lot of Spore. I would just like build dick creatures, you know. Deadly Premonition's 20 hours. Vinny, I don't think you'd enjoy a full playthrough of Deadly Premonition. I'm looking at the funniest cutscene in the game
Just a moment.
on
To atone for past sins. He's setting an example.
on YouTube.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, you should try this wonderful lunch. It's more than a
Look at this
delicious,
music.
tasty crunch. So say, genius.
You sure that sandwich is that good?
What the fuck? What are these characters? Is that Skullface?
Mr. Francis York Morgan, making decisions based on intuitions is always a sign of bad FBI.
It's very schlocky, but it's very long.
I can't believe it. This is fantastic.
Oh my god.
Really good. Olivia, I'm sorry, but can I change
What is this
my
music?
order? I'll have what Harry is having.
There's a director's cut that shortens the game and removes needless sections. The director's cut is the one that's 20 hours. So, I mean, these are good suggestions. And like I said, you know, I do step outside my comfort zone a little bit, and I want to try games that I've never played before on stream here and there, because it keeps my interest up and it keeps people's interest up as well. So I'm not totally opposed to trying some of this shit. It's just a matter of like making the right decisions and thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna play a schlock game. A 20-hour game realistically takes me like 2 or 3 weeks. Probably 3 or 4 weeks actually, because I do 2 hours a night every 2 nights. So, you know, like Final Fantasy IX would take me like 2-3 months. And while I'm okay with that, because it's one of my favorite games ever made, it's still a big decision. So anyway, a couple smaller games, like Dead Space sounds like fun. Mega Man X4 is short. I mean, good suggestions for sure. So, anyway, let's take a look at the art now. And I thank you for the suggestions. I thank you for streaming. Did I just say I thank you for streaming? Did I just say that? I did. Like, my brain did not process that as anything was wrong with that sentence. Wow.